They found me in a ditch. Well, no one found me in
What?
a ditch.
So no one found you?
No one found me.
So you were in the ditch?
Perhaps it was.
What ditch?
Somewhere off the 401.
Is it called
Maybe.
Boston Pizza?
Maybe.
This ditch?
Maybe it was. Maybe it was. Or Osmos or Osmos.
Osmos.
Yeah.
We have one here in Montreal.
I had no idea.
I can't believe you have an expense account and didn't use it.
Honestly, Eagle, where I was in Mississauga,
It doesn't matter. You expense the
expense it.
Ubers.
Eagle, where I was in Mississauga, I was like, man, this is depressing, bro. I was literally off of here in Ontario, man. There was nothing around me, man. I went for walks, nothing, man. Anyway, welcome to CTA. We got to put on the clock here.
Did you go to Capra's Kitchen? Did you go to Rogue's Restaurant? Did you go to Michael's Back Door?
Did you go to Michael's back door?
Did not go to Michael's back door. Anyway, I'm alive. I'm well. Funny enough, I'm not going to say what was in my jacket pocket, but
I just need to say, I did not set up this joke. It just happened. It's too perfect.
I get a call from the president. Hey, do you have so and so's money? I go, I don't know. It was in my jacket pocket in an envelope. I go, fuck. How did customs not fucking flag me down? It would have been wild, man.
1,000+ in there.
It must have been, yeah. Anyway, it was a fun time.
It's
anyway.
10,000 or more they have to. You have to have.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a good time. I'm back. CTA's back. Thanks to Manu Alaroy for jumping in with
Thanks, Manu.
Iggy.
Also, if you did like Menu, I mean, it's too late now, but you can go back and comment on that video, or you can just comment on this one. Just drive our engagement.
Yeah, and just, we're at 5,000, right? I thought it was like 5,000 for the week. I'm like, 5,000 for the week? No, for the entire duration of CTA. That's awesome.
Yes, downloads.
That's
5,000
awesome, man.
downloads.
So download it as much as you can. All right, let's dive into it. We are into the final 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks left in the season? I lost track. 2 weeks.
Sure.
December 9th.
Yeah, so we're 2 weeks.
So yeah, two weeks and a few days.
2 weeks. Before we get to that, winter registration is filling up fast. We are at how much now, Iggy?
Like 201, like 200 plus. So 201.
You said 200 like 2 minutes ago. So we had more teams to sign up in the last like 30 seconds?
Probably.
Well, I mean, also by the time this airs tomorrow morning, like that's another 12 hours that goes by. We might even be at capacity. So get your teams in. Yalla Habibi.
Yeah. Winter season is not far away. We're 6 weeks away from the start of the winter season. And the countdown's begun for that. But right now the countdown's on for the Fall Cup. And we're in the final window of games here. Iggs, what are we starting off with today?
We'll start.
Also, a reminder: 3-on-3 tournament.
Oh yes, 3-on-3 tournament.
Flashpoint or whatever we're calling.
Fast break.
Fast
guys.
break.
Jesus, 3-on-3 fast break.
Which is December 21st at Stade Hébert.
Hébert? It's definitely December 21st.
Yeah, I think it's a Stade Hébert. We're really bad, man, with this. We should have known this.
Charity tournament
To raise money. It's going to be December 21st, which will be as we have the 3-on-3 fast break, which will be at Stade Hébert.
Yes. 7 to 11:30.
Yeah. So
16-minute games, 6 mini fields, $275 per team.
For those who saw the screenshot, I don't know if you guys put the screenshot of Rob Campana's.
I mean, he's in the video. Just go watch it.
Yeah, but the screenshot I took of him.
Oh, it's perfect.
It looks like a Frankenstein.
He does.
Player out there.
He looks like he's coming in.
Coming in. No. Game's still on. We got 5 more plays left in the game.
Thumbs down.
Just based on the video footage and my understanding of the rules, this thing is fast and there's a lot of running. So just a reminder to everyone, you officially have 30 days to get the cardio up. And what better place to do that at than BuzzFit?
Hey FPF players, looking to take your fitness to the next level? BuzzFit Gyms has a special offer just for you. Join us today with no initiation costs. Get ready to score big in the gym and on the field. Visit us at BuzzFit Gyms and seize this exclusive deal now.
And lastly, congratulations to a few FPF players who won the Great Cup with the Montreal Alouettes. Alison Sobel, who was a part of the.
She won the lottery.
Yeah.
What is this?
Well, it is kind of the CFL lottery, but Alison Sobel, who won, who's
Don't
part
you
of the.
lose the lottery for the draft if you win the cup?
Yeah, technically speaking. Yeah. Who is a part of the management team for the Alouettes? Zachary Alexis, who plays in the higher divisions. Tara Marakic, who was a part of the staff during the training camp, we consider to be part of the organization because she's an Alouette through and through. And also Dom Matto, who plays in various teams in the top tier of FPF. Unless I'm missing someone else, I think those are the 4. that we know of at FPF. So we want to send our congrats to them on winning the Grey Cup last Sunday against Winnipeg. Okay, on to Tier 4. So we're down here, Iggs. We're down to the next window of games here. Win Diesel, big win over Ramfins.
Yeah.
Dewey Molasses.
Some upsets here.
Yeah, Dewey Molasses winning over Paso Rabiat. Cookie Monsters winning Oni Flags. And Steve the Turtles winning over Super Troopers. So the so-called visiting teams, which are the lower seeds, all being the top seeds.
Yeah.
What game surprised you the most on how the outcome played out?
False Kings.
So can we call Tier 4 the False Kingdom?
Yes.
I mean,
Topple the monarchy.
I mean,
I'm sure that's something that they want to do.
In games of the week, without Joe Morghese there, I did pick Dewey Molasses, so I didn't. I saw that one sort of coming. 31-6 though. We know Joe Morghese is a big piece of that team, but man, to score 6 points and what is that, 25-point difference? That's pretty dominant for Dewey Molasses. They continue their double elimination stretch. I stayed around for the Cookie Monsters only flags. Felix Boutez really improved at quarterback, and he can seemingly, whenever he wants, on demand, run for a first down. Well, it's just, you want a first down? Okay, I can run for it. Absolutely nothing. The only flags or any defense really in Tier 4 that can do to stop it. Only flags would send one rusher and had a second rusher behind that rusher, kind of acting as a spy. And they still couldn't. They still couldn't stop Felix Boutez and that Cookie Monster offense, putting up 34. So really, the biggest surprise has to be Win Diesel. Although we did kind of break down how they shut out Pack a Punch in week 1, and Manu explained how that was surprising on his end. But to really beat Ramfins, that number 1 seed, that strong defense, to beat them by 2 possessions. Will Sabag's doing some special things right now in his playoff run, and has Win Diesel really fueling up.
Well, that's quite the line there, fueling up over there. Gas is very cheap, by the way, in Ontario, $1.40. So, okay, look, Win Diesel, they've been such a polarizing team. Their actions on the football field, where when they're kind of the underdog, they just have that chip on the shoulder, right, to really prove everyone wrong. Whereas when they're favorites, they kind of let that get into their heads, and they kind of have that autopilot, and they get skunked in the playoffs. But this is a massive win over Ramfin's, best logo in the FPF world, in how that played out for them to win by 10. Because now, as you shake your head there, Iggy, because it is the best logo in the FPF world, Win Diesel, they now are playing with house money going towards maybe the final 2 weeks of the season. I think with Paso Rabiat, that's a big loss. It's like a college football team not covering the spread and losing. And this is what happened. They lost and didn't cover the spread. But Cookie Monsters, you bring up Felix Boutez and Cookie Monsters. I saw them play earlier this season. And I said to you, Iggs, back, I think in early October, that they just have the ability to, they don't care. They'll lock up man-to-man with you and don't give a bleep and just want to smash you in the mouth. And Boutez is the type of guy that his type of offense, you're right about his ingenuity to run the ball, but also more importantly, though, the deep ball. That's his go-to, and that's what he loves, his DNA as a quarterback. And he's had quite the success. As for Save the Turtles, I'm not surprised by them. This is their time to shine, right? This is like, I forget who I used this for as the comparison last season, being the San Antonio Spurs of FPF, but they're sort of like that too, where they kind of stumble and bumble, coast along in the regular season. So they all move along here, and they'll play on Monday, I believe. Is that right? Yeah, they play Monday.
Tier 4, a lot of teams are playing tonight, Wednesday night.
Right, but those 4 teams.
Right, doing Molasses, and they're playing on the 27th of
yeah.
Monday.
Yeah. So that leads us into the games tonight, and then obviously on the weekend here. So there's a little bit more of a geography of games to cover. But for the ones that we do know, Mutation Houday, Don't Bend, Don't Break, Skull, Toon Squad, Chats, Rats, and Make a Run against Meat Lovers. Look, I think this might be a situation where I'm liking Megaron, I'm liking Toon Squad, I'm liking Bend Don't Break and Mutation to all
the favorites.
Games. Yeah, pretty much the higher seeds to win. I don't think Houday has a chance. We spoke about how inept they've been, and this might be a slaughtering for Mutation to come with Houday, who are on my field, by the way. So watch them beat them.
Yeah, I agree. So, I mean, we're both on the Mutation boat there. That sounds weird, but sure, we're on the Mutation boat. The one I'm not certain about is Bend Don't Break versus Skull. Skull have that ability to look like a Division 5 teams at times. And Bend Don't Break sometimes have that bravado to really show that they're one of the teams that can go all the way to the finals like they did in Division E. But sometimes they don't take it seriously enough where they're just joking around, and Skull is a team that can totally capitalize on that with some higher mid division players like Brandon Bagley can shut down the run of the Bend Don't Break quarterback. And if the Skull offense can just drive the field consistently and solidly, strange way of describing it, but if they can consistently just drive down the field and not force any mistakes and any balls into the Bend Don't Break defense, this is an upset that I could see happening.
So, when you look at Bend Don't Break, they went far in the spring season, albeit with like 6 guys.
Yeah.
But they do have that quality in them to come up big in the clutch moments.
No,
so
they do.
I wouldn't discount them against Skull. Yeah, you're right. It could be a trap game for them.
Yeah.
But I think that their wealth of experience that they have in stabilizing the roster was key for them, I think. And now at this point, I think they'll be okay. I think Toon Squad, our boy Garner Ross, is on cloud 9 with the Alouettes winning the Grey Cup.
Must be.
Shats Rats, look, I've seen them play a couple times. I'm not really convinced by them. But this is where I think Shats Rats could beat Toon Squad, because it's just one of those matchups where, as experienced as they are, Toon Squad, do they match up well with Shats Rats in this game? I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, and if you want to get my comments and take on this game, just go back to last week because we actually did talk a little bit about this one. But again, if ever, Mo, you peek over your shoulder here onto Field 2, I feel like Garner Ross playing in the Laval Dome doesn't suit him well. It's a very long field, and it looks
depth perception.
It just looks even wider, and it just looks like a daunting field for the asset and the physical sets of Garner Ross's arm. That I believe that Chat Rats are not a good opponent, a strong opponent for Garner Ross to face.
So I think Garner Ross's time is now. Not like saying it's do or die for him. I think it's time for him to say, hey, you know what? If he can
take it to the next level?
Yeah, because you kind of want to be able to have that runway to take off towards winter season with the momentum that what you built off of the spring and now fall cup. Winter is the best on best eggs. That Eagle knows that. I know that Garner Ross and this Toon Squad team is going to be one of the favorites to perhaps win their division if they're in a division that's playing to their strengths. So this is definitely a takeoff moment for him to really kind of elevate his profile as a quarterback in the FPF world.
I mean, his back really is against the wall because he didn't qualify for double elimination. Yeah. So he is him and his team are a single elimination team. This could, I see what you're saying there.
Yeah, it's a chance for him to take off and really set the tone. Okay, so the Saturday games, look, it's TBA because they're waiting for the games on Wednesday. So Salt and Pepper, Pack-a-Punch, Only Flag, Super Troopers. Who was the most vulnerable of those 4 without knowing who they're going to play on the weekend?
Just the way I saw Only Flags kind of get lose confidence in that Cookie Monsters game. Guys with their heads down and like, what else can we do? If they get a bad matchup again, look, I like the guys. I like they're playmakers on this team. George Spano throws a great ball. His play concepts make sense. But if they face off against a bad opponent, or a bad matchup for them, that could spell the end of the season for them. So that they're matchup dependent in my eyes. Pack-a-Punch is another one that really took that 0 points on the board in their first game against Wind Diesel. So right. They're also entering Saturday night with I wouldn't go in feeling great after having scored 0 points in a playoff game.
Okay, last 2 games on Monday, which we talked about with their winning. Safe Turtles play Wind Diesel, Cookie Monsters against Dooley Molasses. Could we see another upset as we saw the undercard, the under teams come up with the big wins over the higher seeds?
In terms of Wind Diesel and Dooley Molasses again?
Yeah.
Not this time around.
It's going to be tough.
If your question is which of the two lower seeds has a greater chance of pulling off the upset, I think it's Dui Malas. When these two teams played, Cookie Monsters, Dui Malas last played, it was so close that it was a scorekeeper mistake that actually determined who was the winner and loser of this game, with an extra point being given to the wrong team, et cetera, et cetera. So just all to say that it's so close. It was a 1-point game, in other words, that Dui Malas could pull off the upset here if all the chips fall in their favor.
All right, on to women's, and now we're getting to the business end of the season here. Look, no surprise with what happened last weekend. Bruce taking out Wolfpack by 19.
Some surprises, though.
Red Nation beating Vortex, which is an ultimate shocker. And
well, we said it, right? It was going to be offense versus defense, and Red Nation scored more than 3 times type of thing, and Vortex didn't. So there's a game.
And the surprising part is that it wasn't Alison Solba because she was in lovely Hamilton, Ontario.
I'm telling you, there was a lot. Right, exactly. There was so many surprises with this game. Continue.
So now, and also Red Bulls being X and X. So now Red Nation do have the double elimination to work with here because they're playing Brutes.
Yeah.
So, and, Alison Sobel, who's yet to receive her Grey Cup ring, might have a heavy hand because of the Grey Cup ring and hoisting the Grey Cup over her head.
Well, they're not playing. They're playing. They're playing tonight. They're playing Wednesday night.
On my on field one.
Let's see how many drinks she.
Like they had the parade today.
They had the parade.
today. So I don't know if she's going to see
seeing double
Bruce,
there.
Times 10 or times 100. I don't know. But
Mo, who do you think would perform better? Allison Sobel wearing a Grey Cup ring and inebriated after the parade?
Yes, go ahead.
Or
ahead.
Mokan?
Yeah, go ahead. See,
Wait, what's the story here?
You notice Eagle, whenever he says like an insult, he'll say like, who does this? And then he just laugh, right?
The laugh is
he's
imminent.
got that evil laugh or that cartoon laugh, going on after he gives his insult of a joke.
Wait, what is there a story here? You
No,
played
no,
you
no.
played a game with a ring on?
There's no story because he likes to make stories. Okay,
You played a game with a ring on or something?
No,
what?
I'm just saying that also winning the Grey Cup now,
Yes.
hoisting the Grey Cup now, having a Grey Cup ring might make her arm heavy.
Right.
Tired.
Or what's the relative comparison towards you?
This is the
Nothing.
punchline.
That's just the punchline. That's just the
It's
Nothing.
Actually,
Okay.
technically, this is the actual punchline.
Yes. Okay, so Brutes Red Nation, Vortex Red Bulls, Wolfpack Wildcats. This is a real mountain to climb for Red Nation, even with Sobel at quarterback to play a Brutes team that is Olympic level.
Yes. Is there any other analysis that
No,
I mean,
there isn't. But,
look.
but so sorry to cut you off. Ig.
Yeah.
So let's just call it for what it is.
Yeah.
Red Nation lose, they probably play Vortex again. So could Red Nation beat Vortex in round number 2?
I think so. And I mean, if anything, that they're gonna take solace in the Brutes game is, can they get a stop, maybe 2, against Maud Lacasse, right? In the matchup against Brutes on Wednesday night, can the defense go and say, hey, I can get a stop, maybe 2. Can Gigi, get an interception? Can Kia Becca Allens get an interception on Maud Lacasse? And just plant that seed of doubt in the Brutes, so that if ever these two teams match up again in the future, that Maud Lacasse says, okay, well, I didn't go perfect last game. I didn't throw 7 touchdowns on 7 possessions. I turned the ball over twice, and if had Red Nation capitalized on those opportunities to score, this could have been a tighter game. So there's a defensive edge that Red Nation can come out of this game with, even if it's with a loss against Brutes. And then to answer your actual question, I think they can beat Vortex. Now, interestingly enough, like you said, it was Lamiz Aljundi throwing for Red Nation, but it was also not Vortex's QB1 throwing either. So they had their backup quarterback in the game last Saturday at the Stinger Dome. So we didn't see Vortex's true offense while we saw the best of Red Nation's defense. So yes, it's possible they beat Vortex again, but are they going to get lucky with facing a backup quarterback a second time?
Yeah, like I look at Wolfpack Wildcats and Red Bulls. I mean, look, I think they're the afterthoughts right now, and I think we know the 3 teams. It's a question of who will play who. in the quarterfinals, semifinals as well. By the way, Championship Sunday.
Yes.
Is it a primetime affair or afternoon affair?
Afternoon.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah. Okay. It's on the calendar.
Well, anyway. That's
Yeah, but remember there was a thing that was weird for a little bit.
It's not weird anymore.
Okay.
12:30, 1:40, and 2:50.
Amazing. So I get to watch the 4 o'clock NFL games. Second half of the NFL games.
Yes.
The
The Sunday night.
Yeah, for sure. That's
Duns.
lock and
Is it
stock.
a good one?
I don't know.
I'll check it out right now. You checking that Eagle?
Yeah.
December
Do some work.
10th. Wolfpack Wildcats.
Interesting game. I don't know who has the edge here.
I think it's break even between these two teams.
Yeah. I mean,
Eagles Cowboys.
Oh, that's amazing.
oh, I'm into
we
now.
got really,
You perked up
Are we
my,
doing
my
are we
ears.
doing Milanos after that or what?
Yeah, we could.
Yeah,
okay,
it's stated there.
And the 4 o'clocks are Vikings, Raiders, Seahawks, 49ers, Bills, Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers.
Yeah.
Seahawks 49ers if we have GM there.
it's
couldn't,
twice in 3 weeks. Yeah. Anyway, we got to keep Gio in the Saturday games then. As you're saying with Wildcats.
Yeah, if Wildcats can on defense can contain Maurice Paquette and limit the damage she does, that's their key to victory over Wolfpack. While Wolfpack defense need to focus their you know what? Even if they focus their efforts, I was going to say on Josiane Martin, the Wildcats offense, anyone can go off on any given night. So they just have to be strong across the board. They and if they get a solid contribution from their rusher, that would be a key to victory in terms of both defenses.
Okay, we'll go into co-ed, but co-ed won.
Nothing to talk about,
yeah, 'cause
folks.
you guys did it already, though, right?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah,
about
we
that.
did.
Okay, we skipped that. So skipping like a syllabus part of the exam here. Okay, co-ed 2. We good? We're good with co-ed 2?
A little bit more creative here because there were some games that were played since
Yeah.
our last episode.
So
e.g. divisional
Sub-Zero
games.
took out Step Rose by 13, and who's going to carry the boats? Won by 24 with free agents.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have on Saturday at the weekend, we have YY against Preds and Kiss My Christmas Balls against At Least We Tried. Kiss My Christmas Balls, I know that's a team you're very familiar with.
Yes, I'm on it.
I know.
Yeah.
At Least We Tried. Do we have a chance that they can try to win against you guys?
Well, they beat us in the regular season,
Yes.
26-19. If I
remember
recall
that.
the score.
I remember that game.
You remember that game?
Yes, I do.
You weren't scorekeeping it. You're thinking of a Loyola outdoor game, and you're thinking against
Oh,
My
yes.
Christmas Balls against who's going to carry the boat.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
But that's
My bad.
not the game.
No.
Although, very similar game in terms of how it, the game style and how it went.
Mhm.
In that, like who's going to carry the boats was leading most of that game, so was At Least We Tried. And I'd even say that game you're thinking of, it was times 2 in terms of At Least We Tried was up 19-26 nothing, I believe, and nothing was going well for Kiss My Christmas Balls in the first half. Mounted a comeback that fell 6 or 7 points short. But we talked mostly about this game last week. Thanks for watching the show, Mo.
I was in Toronto calling the game for national TV, and I'm prepping for the NCAAs.
Tell me, Mo. Ramfins. You say they're the
Best logo in
the best
FPF.
logo, and in terms of uniforms in FPF. Does Manu Alain agree or disagree with you?
I don't know because I didn't watch the show.
There we go. I wanted you to say it, and you said it
wow,
from
okay.
the
So
more.
let's end the show now.
from the horse's
I said I
mouth.
didn't watch the show.
Good night.
All right, no problem.
So I think At Least We Tried might be the favorites in this game. I mean, yes, because my KMCB ended up with the higher seed, and definitely have a lot to prove to themselves in terms of their gameplay. I could see this one going to overtime, being how close these two teams are. It's two quarterbacks that can run at will.
Yeah.
And whoever does a better job rushing, and it's actually interesting because I think both quarterbacks might be both rushers as well on this one. So it's really going to be a battle of Alex Noel versus Daryl Dorsley in terms of who can run on who better. because they're both rushing each other and quarterbacking against each other. So interesting matchup there.
So Preds play Y&Y. Do we see a change from the first encounter in late September when Y&Y won by 19? I spoke about Y&Y and their undefeated run that they had during the regular season in round robin play. The Preds, I'm intrigued because Chris Olsen has that playoff experience. Our boy Caesar has been very good as well.
Yeah, he's been improving a lot.
Yeah, as a quarterback. I just think that this is...
Who's his Brutus is the question.
Oh, man, that's a good question. Who would be his Brutus in this situation? I'm going to say... Hold on here.
You want to look at the Y&Y roster?
Yeah, Gino. Yeah,
Gino is Brutus?
Yeah, Gino would be his Brutus. But, okay, look, I think this sets up for them to win it. I really think this would be a trap game for Y&Y.
Could be.
Because they've not been challenged this year, Y&Y. And playoffs is a different animal, different vibe, different feel to it. And I believe that they can come away with a big win over these guys.
I think the defense of Predators, after, playing 8 rounds, winning a playoff game against Balls Deep, guys like Edouard Guimas, even... names escaping me. Anthony Gentili.
Yeah.
These guys and the girls as well. Don't forget, Predators do have probably one of the best female cores out there with Ariane Boucher. Emma is a new player playing flag, but every time never mind, she played. Never mind. Wrong team. I'm thinking of free agents.
Oh, someone's not been watching this show to know the teams properly.
No,
huh?
I'm thinking of a Eagles team over here. But sorry, Ariane Boucher and Magali Ruel. Again, referring to the question you asked a few weeks ago about which girls are ready to play Women's One.
Yes.
I said Magali Ruel is one of those players. So and Roxanne Rashidan made 2 great plays on 4th down to bat the ball down from balls deep. So I really think the defense of Predators is something that Y&Y might struggle with. And yeah, that's trap game is the way to describe that.
All right, quarterfinals, right? We have 2 on Monday at Saint Laurent. Balls deep against who's going to carry the boats, and Tigres against Sub-Zero. I think Tigres are kind of off the axis now of their course. I think Sub-Zero, I know you weren't a big fan of the play calling that they had during the round robin game that you and I witnessed.
Oh, Sub-Zero, yeah. So I thought you were saying for Tigres.
But I think this is a platter here for Sub-Zero to maybe
that one's a really interesting game. It's going to be super interesting, I find, because Sub-Zero is the epitome of structure and prep work and just very fundamental flag football.
And Tigres is the epitome of not having numbers on the uniforms and saying that they did.
Sure, yes, on top of that. But they're the epitome of wildcat offense and no structure and just all hooks and everyone run after that and backyard style football. So very contrasting styles of flag football.
Yeah.
Both are effective. Like I mentioned it last week, Tigres have consistently been able to put 30 plus points on defenses because defenses don't know how to cope in such rapid and evolving style of offense that Tigres.
How does the expression go? It's hard to game plan against someone who themselves don't know what they're doing.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's just organized chaos.
Yeah, that's another thing I said last week on the show.
I was in Toronto. At Boston Pizza.
We're chilling at a Boston Pizza. You could have tuned in, Mo.
Watching the Leafs play. Watching the Leafs going to Europe.
You know they microwave their food to warm it up, right?
Oh God.
Do they really?
Yeah, of course they do.
Man, you gotta be kidding me, dude. I didn't want to go to the Indian restaurant, by the way.
Could have gone to Mike's back door.
It was a whitewashed Indian
did?
restaurant.
You
I
did
saw it. I look. Oh no, I'm not going to this Indian restaurant
Bombay Mahal.
because it had like wine bottles in the front. I go, that is not an Indian restaurant. That is an Indian restaurant that people go on Crescent Street, not me.
The Crescent Street rant of you.
Did,
but you did do your bed in a hotel. You know you pay for that, right?
I know, but like
I actually tell them to not come in. I put my do not disturb, and I'm like, just leave me alone.
But it's every second day, right? And I'm just forced to habit, man. Like I hate having a messy bed, man.
You're a creature.
So anyway,
Did you have 2 beds in your room? You just got the one?
Just one. Yes. Yeah.
Mo, who's the favorite in your eyes for balls deep versus who's going to carry the boats, excluding the rankings and the seedings?
Look,
That one's interesting.
I think balls deep has a good core in place. But look, who's going to carry the boats? I'm intrigued by what they've done this season. I think this is a team that has played a lot of opponents very tough. I've seen a couple of their games.
Yeah.
They do have a stingy defense, which they can come up with a big INT, a big turnover. You think about the points that they gave up this year. I don't think a team scored more than 30 on them or more than 28 on them during the regular season. So I really believe that who's going to carry the boats, and that mantra, right, is quite representation of this team here, is that they can carry the load right now and win this type of game here. And if they keep this a low scoring affair where they can cash in on mistakes, I think they can pull off the upset over balls deep. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. They only let up 28 points once.
And that's a sign of a good defense, right?
I mean, if I just shout out numbers, because why not? 26, that was one of their highs that they let up. 20, 19, 20, 13, 28 against Tigres, 20, 24, and 12.
And think about this. Only 6 INTs.
Thrown, or the defense collected only 6
Defense
INTs?
built for 6 INTs.
Right.
So
that's a lot of turnover on downs.
Yeah, so
and a lot of punts.
That just shows that they can adapt to whatever's given to them. Even on a fourth down, they'll make that stop. So I'm really impressed by them. I think they are the team to watch out for going forward here.
It's a wild card. Like they're
I just don't. I'm not convinced by balls deep. I really am not. I think who's going to carry the boats is a team to watch out for in that division. Before we get to the other tiers out there,
you have a game.
No, I'm just saying that, for those 2 games, they'll be Monday. And then for the TBAs, that will be determined by
the winners.
The winners of
winners,
White Predators,
exactly.
Kiss My Christmas Balls.
Which
and
will be done on Saturday, right? So
Correct.
we'll have that figured out. So by next Wednesday, or by next Thursday when we do our next podcast, we'll be down to our semifinal games as well. So a lot to look forward to going forward. All right, on to tier number 1. Tier number 1 of this fall cup, as I try to
was very high intensity stakes at Saint Laurent this past Monday night, as Blessed and 450 Ballers first half very chippy, very loud, as you would expect with 450 Ballers and their sideline. That one was a very intense game where Blessed were through an early interception in the game that they got immediately back by when Marvin Steinberg intercepted Jinzi Alexis. But again, and before the Steven Haraprasad interception, actually, the first play of the game was a 40-yard run by Jinzi Alexis to the house for 6. So that started the game off real well for 450 Ballers, and they never really let go of that lead and that momentum. AJ Gomes, like I said, picked off Steve early in the game. Marvin replied. Marvin tried to get them back into the game with 2 touchdowns, but the game was very physical to the point where I think 1 out of the 2 collisions between AJ Gomes and Marvin Steinberg should have been a defensive pass interference or a unnecessary contact penalty that could have extended a drive for Blessed. Instead, that led to a turnover on downs in the red zone, which was ultimately the difference here. Blessed needed to go for the onside kick, couldn't convert. That was really game over, and a late touchdown made it look, closer than it actually was, because this was a 3-possession lead for 450 Ballers.
Right. Okay. So 450 Ballers continue on the run without Dan Lazaro, who's been out for pretty much the entire season, with Jinzi Alexis as the quarterback.
It's a team no one wants to face.
No, because they're just very unpredictable. I mean, Jinzi, when he has the ball in his hands, he can kill you with his legs.
Yeah. And his arm.
His arm too, right?
His arm strength downfield and his pinpoint accuracy has gotten and evolved over the course of even this season. Since the last playoff games, it's tier 1, and he's making it look easy, relatively easy. It's crazy. And not only that, they can mix it up with Jared Taylor. He takes snaps when they get into the red zone sometimes, and wraps around Jeans Lee, and they're very dynamic behind the center, and it makes things very unpredictable for defenses to adapt to.
How wild would it be if Jeans Lee Lexi wins Tier 1, maybe Division 1, and Dan Lazar gets cut?
Division 1, you mean
Winter.
Oof.
Yeah.
Whew. That would be
Dan Lazar gets cut by the team. How wild would that be?
That'd
Anyway,
be
that's
wild,
another story for the day. Maroon taking out KGP, run it once, which we thought underachieved. Now trying to find the groove, beat Mangoose.
Unbelievable, though.
Terror Squad being never overtime, which is expected. So now we move on to the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Like CFB plays 4-5-0. I know CFB's got the double elimination status, which is okay.
Yeah.
But I don't think they want to play them now. Like it's such a twitchy game.
Is this going to be the first time CFB plays Ballers with LXC, or did they play near the end of the season?
I believe they...
Because it's... Can you make an argument that it's a very different game plan if you're playing against Lazara than LXC?
They September.
They played the first game, which was week 3, though.
Yeah, that was the rain game in September. I remember that game.
Rain game? It was at Marie Victorin.
Oh, sorry. That was spring season I was thinking about. My bad. Sorry.
It was at Marie Victorin where 450 Ballers won 40-18.
Yeah, and Lazare told me. I remember Dan reached out to me and said,
"Yeah,
we made it. We had a statement win over CFB. What are you gonna say in the podcast?"
But it was Dan throwing.
Yes. So now look, this could be another statement game for them, because I think CFB, if they have a proper roster, which has not been their DNA this year, they've been.
It's always the case, though.
It's
guys. Always the case.
But I just think their depth of 450 is going to be a
too
big
much
difference.
to handle.
Not too much to handle, but be a difference though that they can really, as you said before, trick up or glitch up the CFB defense because of Jared Taylor's arm, Gislee's arm and legs. AJ Gomes, he can throw it himself and run, right?
Yeah.
And now you got to find the proper matchups of who's going to shadow these guys on the football field. And I'm not too sure if they have the required depth to keep up with the horsepower of 450.
I think it's a question of, and this always is kind of the case with Braves when you can match them offensively, is can 450 outscore them on 2-point converts? And from my take on what I saw is that the team's more comfortable, especially early on. I've never seen a tier 1 game, again, just going back to Blessed 450 for just a second. I've never seen so many extra point 1 converts in a tier 1 game.
Yeah.
And I don't think, while they may be somewhat comfortable, I don't think they're as comfortable as the Braves going for 2.
Right.
The Braves are just clinical on 2-point converts.
They're ruthless.
And while I think for throwing out numbers, I think the Braves could hit 4 out of 5, and 450 would hit 2 out of 5, maybe 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
So I have to give the advantage there to the Braves.
Okay, so Ram Lumiere Maroons 2.0, Bless Run It Once, KGP Terror Squad. I think the Lumiere Maroons 2.0 game is fascinating. It's compelling because you look at Maroons 2.0, they're building up towards winter, which we hope they will be a part of the Div 1
They are.
party.
Done.
Amazing.
Done.
Fantastic. 10
teams so far.
That's so amazing because I can now do a schedule for them, which is always, the MoCon schedule has always worked out well last 3 years. Just saying.
So wait, can you make an argument that depending on Chad Byers' performance, they'll get a harder schedule next season?
Well, it depends where we rank them.
So you're saying he should throw his games?
I'm not saying anything.
No comment.
That
was quick.
I think Maroons 2.0 can give promise to RL.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't see where this is like a teeter-totter one. I don't know where that one lands. That too may come down to extra point converts.
And RL has a very good package of 2-point converts.
Yeah, Jesse's great on his 2-point converts, and I just haven't seen Chad Byers enough on the 2-point converts to make a determination there.
So Blast Run It Once. Blast has been tripping up the last month.
Mm-hmm. So Run It Once has been tripping up all season.
But they reversed it though. Like Run It Once is now peaking, and Bless is starting to descend towards Earth.
You quickly went over the scores. Yes, they beat Mangoose 26-12. That was against Tomas Kutsu at quarterback and not Nick Schaefer. And they couldn't put this team away. It has Quay Johnson, Anthony Brisebois, James O'Hayan, like Jeff Rosenblatt's thrown to these guys. Yes, he has newcomers and Manuel Arroy. He's thrown to Skylar Bailiff before. Loves him. Loves Manu. The addition of Manu, Justin Blackie. Like it's a great core, and something's missing. The chemistry is not fully there, which is crazy to say because three of those top Div 1 receivers he's thrown to before.
I'm really concerned about Blessed. They're like the LA Chargers. They're like the LA Chargers. They are underachieving right now.
But what's different about their game that's been exposed this season?
I think they coasted.
Are they missing a piece?
They coasted for the first 6 weeks of the season, and then when they played the big hitters, they had a big F.
But did they do anything? Okay, I want to phrase this question properly.
Yes.
Blessed is known for the way they play their offense, and it plays a certain way.
It's a dull offense. It's not.
But it's not about being dull. It's about being efficient.
Yeah. But when I say dull,
it feels like the efficiency is not there this fall.
That's what I imply. Like when I say dull, I'm implying that the offense lacks a dynamism to say they can be efficient, but also have those plays that they can go beyond what is the comfort zone of Stephen Harper-Prasad. Mm-hmm. You know, Joe Mayo can drop second quarterback and a third quarterback and a fourth quarterback.
So can Bless.
But Bless doesn't do that though.
No, they do.
But I think the other thing to look at is like Harper-Prasad's record is like it's good. Like 26 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 72% completion rate, 1,200 yards in 6 games essentially. Like that's clearly not the problem.
But they have lapses though. They do have lapses.
Yeah, but it feels like almost what I'll describe as like maybe clock management in some games. Like I don't know what happened in the second half where it feels like they're no longer competitive.
That's it. I mean, maybe lapses. It could be that, but man, they are on the ropes right now.
And there was some internal. I was scorekeeping, and I could hear it from after the game. There was some internal shouting matches.
Was it your source William P. that gave the information?
No, there was no information to give. I could hear it. There was a shouting match. There was like internal dynamism breaking down. So
W Power giving you the inside information.
They'll need to pick it up quick against Run It Once.
Quickly here, KGP Terror Squad. KGP's down to the last roll of the dice. I think Terror Squad also they both underachieve. I'm going to give this edge to KGP in terms of the experience that they have.
If Phil Cutler's there.
Yeah,
he wasn't there. That's why they lost to Maroons.
Yeah, so this might be a little bit tricky for them, but we'll see how this plays out. On to Tier 2. As we're getting closer and closer towards the end of the show here. Okay, so a lot to kind of unpack here with the divisional playoffs that happened. So let's do like a quick baseline because we have the games to look forward to on Sunday. Any surprises in your mind from the teams that lost?
I mean, in terms of favorites losing,
you guys, you guys making me look like idiots with Dirty Birds.
Hold on. So we made you look like an idiot?
Yeah.
Why?
Because your boy, Quay Johnson, sends me a DM the following day.
Yeah.
Yo, dude, like, you know, we're going to prove you wrong.
Not you, but
me. He's pointing at me.
What?
Because remember I said he's not a good quarterback, or I said something along the lines like he's not the great quarterback. Whatever.
Okay. Maybe.
And I said, cool, dude, prove me wrong. I go, I'll be at the finals. Will you be there?
I don't want to make excuses. I was 4 players down, 4 pretty critical. I mean, everyone's critical in tier 2 teams. You take any 4 players off any team, and it's really hard to compete. I think we did the best we could. But nothing to take away from Dirty Birds. Great defense. Forced 2 turnovers on me. Mm-hmm. 1 miscommunication with an IR replacement, someone I haven't played with, in Oriola Poirier. So miscommunication there, fine. And then a bad decision on my part, but a great play by Khalil Kerr.
Right.
And there, when Quaid needed to score, especially late in the game. He did, and I wasn't. Was there PI on a call that should have been PI in my opinion? I'm obviously going to say yes. A ball that's underthrown and a receiver coming back to the ball, I don't care if you turn your head or not. Any contact, it's PI. To me, again, my vantage point from my angle, any contact when a receiver's coming back to the ball, whether your head's turned or not, is the easiest PI call you can call, and it wasn't called. Whatever. That's one play in the game. They overall, Dirty Birds deserved this victory, and yes, some missed calls both ways, honestly. Missed calls and 4 players out. I was just lucky that I had a second game that night. That same roster where I was missing 4 players, I'm like, I could get eliminated in one night.
Which we hope. We need for the road show.
After a 7-1 season, I'm like, oh my God, everything can come undone because I have 4 players missing.
You're lucky I don't have a violin sound.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, man, I'm just like at the orchestra.
Anyways,
it's you,
so
Megan.
I got this one.
No.
There's art.
Look, that's all I'm going to talk about my team.
For Iggy in the violin.
I'll mention it because it was mentioned to me, is that Eagle had said, hey, any blowouts here? And I said, no, everything is going to be close. Diamond Bougie were there on the field saying, oh, no, we're going to prove Iggy and Eagle wrong. They blew out Ambush. That was not a competition. Chris Rive in his game said, oh, man, I really didn't have my best game. And ECW, just as efficient as they are, they took out Stoics quite handedly. Infantry fins up. Marvin Steinberg had 5 touchdowns in that one.
Right.
Tried everything they could do, but Zach Stacy, man, the progression on this guy, putting up 46 on fins up. I think he had 3 incompletions in this game.
Well, I've been telling you about Zach Stacy.
He's getting so great, and I love seeing that. Someone who started, who in last winter was throwing Div 6 and Div 5, is now throwing high level Tier 2 is such an incredible growth from him.
Okay, on to the games on
yes.
hand.
Before we do that, though, can we spend
a
a quick little moment talking about Voodoo? Because I remember a few weeks ago talking about how this was going to be a hard division for them, that, maybe they were, playing a little bit higher than their level and everything. Not only did they play well throughout the season, they also beat Game Changers and were competitive in your game. Now, granted, it's a 2-score type of thing, but it still was game.
Yeah, it was. It was a game, and Voodoo had a 27-0 lead over Game Changers. I couldn't believe it.
But that's also how they like to play their system, right? When they're ahead, they stay ahead.
It was prototypical Frank K, and he wanted me to mention it, so here it is. Frank K balled out in that first game. He was throwing dimes to Kevin Marcel, obviously to Pat Saint-Amand, but to everyone on the field. It was just, they were in sync, like the best version of Voodoo.
I'll say this, Frank K, if I was there, you wouldn't be doing that. Just letting you know, Frank.
If you were there rushing him.
No. Scorekeeping.
Scorekeeping. What?
He doesn't play well in scorekeeping.
The pressure gets to him?
It's something about that.
Question number 2, if the follow-up game was on a different day and Frank had a chance to rest his arm, you think it would have been a little bit different and those dimes would have been there?
No.
Like second game, he wasn't hurting a little bit? There wasn't a little bit of speed off the ball?
Frank's got that, that one burst, and that's it. And he had that burst against Game Changers.
Yeah, but then he played an hour later. That's my point.
2 hours later.
Okay, on to the other games we have on Sunday. ECW, Infantry, Diamond Bougie, Dirty Birds, Stoics, Le Bot Abasset, and then Ambush against Beer Belly Brigade. I think Ambush is in trouble.
And then there's actually, in the quarterfinals, there are
Fins
up because they already won their divisional bottom bracket. They have TBA, though, but yeah.
So that's for the games that we do know. I think Ambush is in trouble.
Ambush.
I've not been convinced by them at all this season. They just look disjointed. They don't look like they're on the same telepathy. These are all guys that grew up with each other, but they don't look like they're in the same wavelength of communication of success.
Definitely not last Sunday, losing 50-18. There was some rage quitting. Apparently, just checked out. Right when you're on the wrong side of a blowout, it's hard to stay focused.
Yeah.
This is a classic though. This is a classic matchup. Ben McMahon versus Alex Fafard. In Division C, I believe it was a few spring seasons ago. This was a semi-final matchup deciding who would go to the finals. Don't count Ambush out. That's a team that beat Kiss My In-Laws late in the season. And I honestly thought that they could give a run to Diamond Bougie. Obviously, Diamond Bougie proved me absolutely wrong there. Again, don't discount what Ben McMahon. There's a lot of pressure on Ben McMahon, but when Ben McMahon is, like we just said with Frankie, when he's on his game, he's impossible to stop.
Stoics and Le Pas de Basset.
That one's interesting.
Yeah, because you got two different styles of offense, two different styles of quarterback. You got the 5-star former recruit and Frederic Paquet-Parot against the 5-star cameraman himself and C-Riv, Christopher Rivet.
Yeah.
I think patience is going to be the key for Le Pas de Basset to win this game against the Stoics, because Chris will not make many mistakes, if any. And the ones that he does make is because he overshot his target by a yard or two for a 4th down conversion.
Right. And actually, Le Pas de Basset took advantage of the mistakes that the Boys Are Back made last Sunday. Just to quickly comment on that game, there was, with 2 plays remaining to end the half, Joe Cano throws an interception about 18 yards, taking a shot at the end zone with 2 plays remaining, gets picked off in the end zone. One play, last play of the half, touchdown to end the first half. That crushed absolutely the Boys Are Back, even though they got a touchdown, got the onside, got another touchdown, tried to make a dramatic comeback, but the Basset last drive win it. So like you're saying, they took advantage of the mistakes of Joe Cano that I don't think Chris Ribe is going to make like he made against the
ECW. A smart quarterback out there, and they're going to have to be they're going to have to lay out traps and have him fall into those traps.
Yeah.
To get that turnover. Diamond Bougie Dirty Birds might be the best game of the lot.
That's going to be great. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a massive game for Quay Johnson to prove that he
prove
definitely
you wrong. Yeah.
Prove me wrong. He won 1 game.
No, he wants to prove you wrong again.
Yeah.
No. I'm not saying he did already by doing it.
Yeah.
I said he wants to. I didn't say that well. He wants to continue to prove you wrong.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
But this is his ultimate test of who he's going up against.
Yep.
Diamond Bougie. The thing is Naz Dillon rushing the quarterback in this game, right? And not to say he's got a sack.
Oh no, he does. Oh no, yes he does.
Jules Rudgeball. I'm not saying he's got a sack. What he has to do is he's got to just irritate him.
No, he has to sack him. He cannot let Jules get away with his hip move. Jules has been improving with it, escaping a rusher, gaining yards with his legs, but more importantly, keeping his eyes downfield and sometimes hitting a home run.
Irritating a quarterback by pressuring him and getting his eyes, the key point, eyes off of the target,
right,
is far greater than the sack in that context of what Jules Rudgeball is a quarterback. It's far if you can sack him, but if you get him off his line, off his axis point, it makes him more irritated because he's a guy that is a flow guy.
Yes.
And if the fluency is coming from Naz Dillon that he's going to be able to disrupt his flow, then it makes things all discombobulated for him.
But here's the thing. Disrupting the flows by sacking him when he thinks he made a move to get away from him. And I've seen this countless number of times, and this is the first time I'm going to say it, is that when Jules escapes and makes an incredible, and it's like a no-look, 30, 20 yards downfield, that juices him and the team up because they made an incredible play out of what would have been a 7-yard sack. That just increases everyone's energy on Diamond Bougie, and then it usually leads to a 2-score lead, and then they get the extra point for 2, and it just demoralizes other teams when it could have been 4th and 17.
All right, wrapping up here quickly with ECW Infantry. Do we see a close game or a blowout? Because both these teams can put up points.
I don't know. I can see both scenarios for both teams. I can see ECW getting one stop on the infantry and then just consistently putting up the points. I can see the infantry doing the same thing to ECW. I can see it. What's most likely to happen is that this one's a 1 point, 1 possession game, and whoever has the ball last wins. And that's usually Jeremy White making good use of the timeouts, making use of the clock, getting a first down exactly to get another first down so that they keep the ball and make sure that they have the last possession of the ball.
All right, on to Tier 3. As we got to race against the clock now. I got to get
Yeah.
out of here before.
We'll get there, don't worry.
7
Don't worry.
minutes. Yeah.
Don't worry. Okay, Saturday we had Griffin Nation smoking wide open bar. Well,
Why
of
does
course, the
everyone
fourth-
say Griffin Nation? It's Griff Nation.
I call him Griffin Nation.
Everyone does.
I
So
don't-
does
I don't.
Mr. Jimmy Garofalis.
I assume it was a forfeit.
What?
Yes, it was.
Forfeit.
Oh,
Griffin Nation.
earlier on, yes.
Wob
yes.
couldn't make it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
BDM, BBD.
Yeah, which isn't a surprise because BDM has the ability to make a run. They've gone far in the playoffs before. And
Not maybe one round, but like they have here, but not 2 rounds deep. I don't believe. But Blue Dry,
Spring
what a
season.
what a
spring
disappointment all
they
season.
went to the semifinals.
Spring season semifinals. Don't think so.
They did.
Not
They lost
semis.
to Papineau.
Oh, in the winter season.
No, spring season.
Do you not
No.
have an inside voice? You just whisper out loud.
Yeah.
No. But more than anything, it's what a disappointment from Blue Dry.
Disappointment from Blue Dry. Okay, yes. Blue Dry has underachieved. I agree.
Jesus.
They, even from game 1 of spring of Fall
Crazy.
Cup to where we
Crazy.
are, did not play well. Did not
Nope.
underachieved. Illegal Loose Hands beat Joe's Panini by
Great game.
2.
Great game. Yep.
And I know you Pimps winning by 9 against Killer Rays. So we have a boatload of games here.
Yes.
Of the games that's left right
Yeah.
here.
What type of boat?
Who's gonna carry the boats though?
Tugboat. It's a tugboat.
It's a tugboat.
No,
carry
a
these
steam.
games.
It's not designed for. It's not designed for cargo nor.
Wait.
Cruise.
Who's
Yeah,
boat?
exactly. That's why. So,
So
like,
it's
how are you
carrying-
gonna fit all these teams on a tugboat?
No, they're carrying the boat that has all these teams on it.
But you don't carry the boat. You push the boat.
They're bringing the boat to the port.
These are a lot of boats.
Okay, so who's the Titanic? Who's the Titanic boat here? Who's gonna crash into an iceberg and sink, Mo?
That's a terrible example to use because that is not
No,
nice.
Titanic, not
No, but
the other
here's
one.
the thing, right?
Who's Leonardo?
All right, let's get to the point at hand here.
Who's Lorenzo?
West Island Boys, Trap Stars. That game I'm intrigued
Yeah, yeah,
by. Wib played them earlier this season.
yeah. Where they made that huge comeback,
Comeback
right?
where they were down by 3 scores,
Yeah.
and that kind of the
tone,
tone and the direction, of course, for the
their
ships
fall
to go
season, yeah.
the rest of the way here. Team Sexy and the Penetrators. This could be a sneaky good game here. I think this could go high 30s with both
Each.
offenses. Yeah, I think both these teams can score. There might be like a 38-34 type of game here with these teams, and I'm really
Yeah.
intrigued by the quarterback play. BDM and Born in the 80s may not be the most appealing game, but I think that has a bit of panache to it.
How do you think? Just quickly, 10 seconds. Medric Lozon is suiting up for Born in the 80s because David Dandrad IR'd.
Yeah, he got hurt in Laval.
Yeah.
I think he's got.
Does he have the
enormous-
weapons?
He has the weapons. He's got the ability. He's got that buccaneering type of mentality in the playoffs. Not because he looks like a buccaneer, but because
He's a wizard.
But he has that ability to make runs,
Yeah.
and I think he can definitely do it.
Yeah.
Mengoose, Griffin Nation.
Griff Nation.
Lightwork, Rico Riders, and New Diablos, Bandits. I think the ones who are the higher seeds are vulnerable. I think the ones in the lower
No.
seed positions can pull off the wins.
Mm,
Rico Riders,
I'm not sure.
Bandits might be a little bit tough, but New
Yeah.
Diablos though.
No,
But
I mean
looking
the
at these
favorites are
games-
favorites.
Yeah, but look at these games that you see right now. What catches your interest?
Is that Mangoose lost Nick Schaefer in their first round game, concussion-like symptoms. So will he be available on Saturday? Probably not. So that does, in my opinion, give the edge to Griff Nation. I do think Lightwork is the favorite there. I don't think Rico Riders have the answer for Michael Kazaka. Notably the speed of Michael Kazaka, and New Diablos I think just have the offense to
Yeah, but
outscore their problems if any.
the
over
Wranglers
Bandits.
are gonna be rushing the quarterback though.
Okay, I don't unless Tyler Havlina's really holding on to the ball a little too long, which I haven't seen. But
Yeah.
if he does, then yes, that could pose some problems from Lightwork. But if he's really quick releasing that ball, it doesn't matter who Rico Riders rush.
I think there'll be 2 or 3 upsets. Rico Riders
2
will be
or 3. Oof,
Yeah.
3. No, give me 1.5.
I think 2 or 3 will be the upsets here. I think there will be some teams that will not be happy in how this plays out, and they'll have to get ready for next Wednesday.
And these are they're all single elimination
yeah.
games.
So they'll get ready for winter season 2024. Sign up because registration is going quick and fast right now for winter 2024.
Thick and fast.
Thick and fast.
As
like
you said about the soccer schedule last year. I remember
thick
that.
and fast.
Yes.
It's coming thick and fast right now. All right, it is now time for
A BuzzFeed promo. If I could play.
Hey
Oh,
FPF
God.
players, looking to take your fitness to the next level? BuzzFit Gyms has a special offer just for you. Join us today with no initiation costs. Get ready to score big in the gym and on the field. Visit us at BuzzFit Gyms and seize this exclusive deal now.
All right, and it is now game time for.
You're tired.
I'm ahead of myself here. We're trying to go fast. This will be games of the week. Woo! Okay. Let's start in the order that we started with, which will be tier 3.
That's reverse then. Reverse order, but sure.
Is it?
whatever.
We just
go
talked
whatever,
about
man.
tier
We
3.
started with
yes.
tier 4. Oh, I'm stupid.
fine.
Whatever, it's okay.
No, it's fine.
Okay, Eagle.
Yeah, we're good.
Are you
We're good.
okay?
No, I have tier 4 right here.
Okay.
All right. Tonight. Actually, did we talk about these games last week?
It's
no,
fine.
we're doing it again.
Yeah.
Mutation, Hude.
Mutation.
Bend Don't Break, Skull.
Skull.
You didn't
Skull.
clap. You didn't clap. Toon Squad, Chat Rats.
Chat rats.
I'm going chat rats too.
And Mega Ron Meat Lovers.
Ron.
I'll go Mega Ron.
And we're going to skip ahead because unfortunately we don't know what's going to happen in those games for the matchups on Saturday. But the Monday game, Save the Turf Tools and Win Diesel.
Turf Toes.
Turf Tools for me.
And Cookie Monsters, Dewey Molasses.
Monsters.
I'll go Cookie.
All right. Women's division, we have Brutes and Red Nation.
Roots.
Brut.
Vortex, Red Bulls.
Vortex.
I'll go Vortex.
And Wolfpack, Wildcats.
Wolfpack.
I'll go Wildcats.
Ooh, interesting. All right, we got co-ed tier 1, nothing. We got co-ed tier 2, Y&Y Predators.
Preds.
I like the upset in Predators. Give me Preds.
And Kiss My Christmas Balls, at least we tried.
Balls.
I can't pick it.
Okay, Balls Deep, who's going to carry the boats?
Boats.
Yeah, who's going to carry the boats?
And Tigres, Sub-Zero.
0.
Sub-Zero, but it's tricky. It's going to be tricky.
Okay, and then the other game will likely, if your predictions go right, Predators versus Kiss My Christmas Balls.
I'm gonna go Christmas balls.
I can't pick it.
All right, we're going to go tier 1. We have Cap-Friendly Braves and 450 Ballers.
450.
I want to pick 450, but I'll go Braves, but it's close.
Rayon Luminaire, Maroons 2.0.
Rayon.
I'm going Maroons.
Blessed, Run It Once.
Run it once.
I think they put it together, blessed.
KGP, Terror Squad.
KGP.
I'll go KGP if Phil Cutler's there. If not, Terror Squad.
Cup 2, EZW, The Infantry.
Infantry.
Cup 2?
Tier 2.
Easy W, but like I said, last possession wins.
Diamond Bougie, Dirty Birds.
Bougie.
Yeah, Diamond Bougie, but man, it's going to be close.
Stoics, Les Potes Bessettes.
Before you answer that question, Birds beat Diamond Bougie in the spring season.
No, they lost.
No, in the regular season, though.
Oh, in the regular
Yeah.
season.
Next game.
Stoics, Potes Bessettes.
Stoics.
Not sure about that, Mo. Stoics.
Ambush, Beer Belly Brigade.
I'm going to go Beer Belly. Sorry, I'm sorry, Ambush. Ambush.
You're going Ambush?
Yeah.
I'm going Beer Belly.
Okay. I don't know what the matchups are going to be for quarterfinals,
yeah,
so
yeah.
we'll do that another time.
Yeah.
Then lastly, Tier Cup 3, West Island Boys, Trap Stars.
Whip.
Tier
Cup 3. West Island Boys.
Team Sexy, The Penetrators. Great game,
Sexy.
name-wise.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll go with the experience. Give me
Yeah, they're going to pro
Penetrators.
their way.
All right, born in the 80s, Bébé Dragon Magique.
80s.
I'll go 80s. Yeah.
Mengoose, Griff Nation.
Griffin Nation.
Griff Nation.
Mengoose, Griff Nation.
Again? No. Next one.
Lightwork, Rico Riders.
Rico Riders.
Light work.
And New Diablos, Bandits.
Diablos.
I'll go New Diablos.
And the other games, we'll figure it out.
find out.
But yeah, likely not going to have
Next-
anything
yeah,
right now.
yeah.
So winter registration is on. It is closing up quick. So by the time we hit the weekend, we might be closed up. So
Yeah.
please, if you have a team in the on the holding pattern, please get that sorted out so you can sign up ASAP. Because once we hit the number 214, we can't go any more than that. So please sign up ASAP. And also ratings requests, please. If you do have your team locked in and you are kind of fishy about player A, B, or C having a number that doesn't fit the profile, please submit your request ASAP so we can get that sorted out before the holiday season, which is not far away. And roadshow in 2 weeks. In a fortnight's time, we'll be in Brossard and Hebert.
Yep.
We'll have everything sorted out. If you want, look, we'll put it out there. If you want to be part of the broadcast team for the roadshow, male or
Reach out.
female,
Yep.
please drop us a line.
English or French?
English or French, too. It's bilingual, too. We can do bilingual broadcasts, which we've done now for higher level football, which I do. So please let us know, and we'll put you in consideration for maybe not now, maybe for even winter season as well. So look out for that. And Concast 2024, April 2024. Stay tuned for that. We'll be there for the Concast, April 2024. Magic words, please.
Good night, Matt Canada.
Oh, good night, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Good night, Blue Bombers.
Good night.
Several